Over the past decade, the global government has been very open about their plan to implement Agenda 2030 and its sustainable development goals all across the globe. Not only that, but during the COVID-19 pandemic, many of our global leaders also went on an open platform and stated very clearly that they wanted to use COVID-style policies to combat climate change. Well, now this is absolutely what they are vouching for. And many of these same global leaders are now using Ukraine and the war in Ukraine as an excuse to yet again combat climate change. Well, over in Italy, they have just introduced what I'm going to dub a new climate communism system. And when you hear what it's all about, your jaw is going to drop to the floor. But before I get into it, just a quick reminder, don't forget to check out my partner at preparewithlisa.com. It's got My Patriots food supply. And I want to tell you, if you don't have food storage, now is absolutely the time to get that. And right now, this is one of the best discounts I've seen. They've got $150 off of their 3-month emergency food supply. Not only that, they also have a 4-week food supply kit if you've already got some on hand, and that one's got a $50 discount. But check it out and take advantage of some of that while you still can, because you don't want to be a victim when crisis hits. All right. So what on earth is happening to our brothers and sisters in Italy? We'll take a look here at theguardian.com, and it says Italy puts 25 degrees Celsius limit on air conditioning as Ukraine crisis forces energy rationing. It's called Operation Thermostat, an initiative aimed at helping the country avert shortages, and ministers signed gas deal with Angola. It goes on to state this: schools and other public buildings in Italy will be forbidden from setting their air conditioning to any setting lower than 25 Celsius from next month, under a scheme intended to help the country dodge an energy crisis exacerbated by the war in Ukraine. The energy rationing initiative, called Operation Thermostat, comes as Italy on Wednesday penned a deal with Angola to ramp up gas supplies from the southern African country. It goes on, a debate over energy squandered through air conditioning arose after the Prime Minister, Mario, ironically used air conditioning as an example of something Italians might have to sacrifice in return for peace in Ukraine. And this is what he said, quote, "Do we want to have peace, or do we want to have the air conditioner on?" he said earlier this month, after pledging that Italy would comply if the EU decided to impose an embargo on Russian gas. The rules begin on the 1st of May and will be in place until the 31st of March the following year, with heating in public buildings during winter not permitted to exceed 19 degrees Celsius. It's not yet clear how the measure will be policed, but inspectors from the Ministry of Labor could undertake controls, with those flouting the limits fined between 500 to 3,000 euros. The measure does not apply to hospitals, but may eventually be extended to private homes. So right now, it's not in private homes. It's just at businesses. But that is where it is. And here's just a couple key points that hit me there. First of all, he says very clearly, the minister there, the Prime Minister of Italy says, do you want peace, or do you want to be able to use your air conditioner? And I got to thinking about that. I'm not sure how adjusting your thermostat is going to achieve peace in Ukraine, but I digress. It sounds a lot more like sentimental manipulation over any kind of actual reason. But I digress. This is why I'm kind of calling it this communist system. And also, mark my words, this isn't going to stop at just rationing your heating and AC for some time. And we're talking well over a year. This is going to continue to combat climate style policies. It always takes one step further, and they always take it further than they claim they're going to do that. Now, not only that, also something else is going on that adds to this new communist system there that you need to be aware of that's happening over in Italy. Take a look at the second article that I found on the National Pulse. A social credit system aimed at modifying climate change behaviors is being deployed in Italy. Italy will become the first European nation to implement a social credit score. Da, 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 da. There it is. I've been warning about them bringing the Chinese-style scores here, and here it is in Italy, where citizens will be rewarded for their good behavior. Now, the article goes on to state, starting in the fall of 2022, the city of Bologna will begin a new pilot project. Citizens who display good behavior, such as correctively recycling or using public transportation, will be rewarded. The Bologna municipality is deploying a smart citizen wallet, which will be the primary method for citizens to collect digital coins in exchange for behavioral changes. Based on the given score, a person can also receive discounts for local shops. The primary argument for this program is, of course, to save resources and promote climate-friendly behavior. As reported by Bologna Today, the counselor for the digital agenda in the northern city said that while no one will be forced to use this application, he expects a high user uptake. In its current state, the system will not be tied to others, such as online identification and social media usage. Now, obviously, I have quite a few problems with this. First of all, they're saying it's optional. It's not going to be forced on anybody. People can choose to do it and choose to be rewarded for recycling or taking public transportation or fill in the blank. We don't have all the details yet. It could be a long list of stuff, but you will be rewarded if you do this, and it's going to be all tracked and traced on this app. But that said, of course, I obviously have an issue with them tracking and tracing us to that level. The second issue I have with it, although it's optional right now, I do believe a lot of programs that have started out through the years have been optional, and eventually the government could eventually force it on the population. That's the second problem. The third problem I have with it is that once and if they force it on the population, then what else can they tie to it? Will they start tying your social media to it? Will you ultimately have that exact social score program like they do in China? And here's the other problem I have with it. Things that happen in Italy eventually, and all these international countries eventually find their way to the United States of America. And here in the US, we have the ESG numbers that are now being assigned to our businesses here at home. Your environmental, social, I like to say social justice, environmental, socially justice, and of course, government score that they are placing on our businesses. And this is doing, it will eventually do ungodly damage financially to the United States of America, but I digress. Here we have over in Italy, not only do we have this optional scoring system based off of your climate behavior that has just been implemented, a new climate communist system where they track and trace everything and rate everything and give you rewards for good behavior. And eventually, by the way, if you're getting rewarded, they'll take rewards away if you don't fill in the blank, right? And not only that, but they also have, of course, the rationing, the energy rationing now happening in the country. Eventually, these kinds of things can go into other countries, and that's why I'm sounding the alarm. Anyhow, wanted to bring all of this to your attention. With that, please don't forget to check me out at restrictedrepublic.com. I started that because a lot of this corruption that is going on, but I've got so many amazing videos that you're going to want to see on there. It's a 14-day free trial. You can cancel whenever you want. If you want to cancel before the 14 days, go ahead. If you want to hang on a couple months and cancel, it's fine. You can cancel whenever you want, but we've got exclusive content on there. So check it out at restrictedrepublic.com. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.